Collect and sell spare parts. Be a dealer in spare parts, old spare parts for stuff. I've made several videos about this business idea, but I think it needs to be repeated because it's a great idea. And I will give you one example just to illustrate. I needed a new part for my German car the other day, and the workshop told me I had to buy this new. It was a injection, some piece of the fuel injection, and they quoted me $660 for the part itself, for the part alone, $660. And this is a rather old car. It's a 94 model. So I told myself there's got to be a way to find this part cheaper than $660 for an old car. There must be thousands of that one out there. They've scrapped thousands of this car. It's a very common car. I started looking. I found it in Norway, secondhand, eventually for $300. So that's half the price, $300. It's still very expensive. And I kept looking. I found it in Sweden for about $150. So that's a fourth of the price. And that's a different country from where I am. I'm in Norway. And I kept looking. And since it was a European car, a German car, I started looking in Germany. I speak a little German, so I could go to eBay in Germany. And eBay in Germany is different from eBay in the US. And the things that are listed, they don't come up on both sides. So the stuff that's in eBay Germany is only in eBay Germany. I finally found the stuff, the part with the part number and everything. It took me quite a while. And there were about 10 of these available, and they were real cheap. But I went through it, and they wouldn't ship outside the EU or outside Germany. Eventually, I found one. One dealer had this part, and they were shipping worldwide. And I was able to get that piece for $60. So it's in the mail right now. Let's hope it's the right piece and it works out, but I think it is. So I went from $660 down to $60. And believe me, there is a market like that worldwide. I mean, you are probably watching this video. You might be in the US or somewhere around the world, but maybe in the US. And believe me, there is a market for US stuff worldwide. And if you are in Norway like me, or Saudi Arabia, or South Africa, or whatever, and you bought something that originated in the US, it's real hard to get spare parts. It's real difficult. And if you find a dealer in the US that has these spare parts, they won't ship outside the US either because they don't have the routines to do it, or they refuse to do it, or the dealership will not allow them because they're milking foreign markets like Norway. You know, I have this Opel, that was my car, and Opel, they're making these parts for a fraction of $660. So they're just milking the aftermarket, and they know that most customers will not go through the hassle that I've done to get this spare part at a reasonable price. So you have to undercut them in this milking they do of the international market. And if you are based in the US, anywhere in the US, and if you have some way to get spare parts for anything, it's stereos, kitchen appliances, or stuff in the garage, or cars, motorcycles, industrial machines, anything, anywhere, a scrap heap or a recycling station, or just put an ad in the paper to say I'll come and pick up your stuff, whatever, and start collecting this, and tear the pieces apart carefully, identify them carefully, photograph them carefully, and put them out on eBay, international eBay, and also put up your own blog and identify the pieces real close. Because I looked for this part a lot. And I'm going to tell you that had I found that part in the US early on for $120 that I could just buy it and have it shipped straight away, I would have bought it. So that would have been for you. It would have been $120 straight into your pocket because that part probably wouldn't have cost you anything. So you can have a reasonable revenue there, and there's business opportunities there in spare parts all over the place. So it's just get yourself into it. What you really should have is a digital camera. start taking pictures, of the stuff that you find or have or whatever. Identify it, tag it somehow, and put it out on your website and on eBay, and you'll see that business start coming in. It will take some time maybe, but dealing in spare parts is such a given. It's something a lot more people should do. And try yourself. Try a search for a spare part for something you need next time you need something. It's kind of hard to get actually, and this is a market that can be turned upside down by you. With what you know something about. It can be fishing rods or bicycles or whatever. And even better if it's something you know something about, so you can even, like me for example, when I bought that part, if you knew something about those kind of parts or stereos or kitchen appliances, you've been working with that or whatever, you can also offer, buy this stuff from me for $120 and I'm more than willing to help you online. Send me emails, I'll help you fix it, So fixing up and repairing stuff it will be a booming industry in this recession and depression. And if you can get into that now, start cataloging spare parts and getting out there and building a presence, you can build a long-term business that's really viable for the long run. So spare parts, folks. This advice and much more you can find on workone.com. Go to workone.com to get into the work seekers community there and share experiences with others, and workone.com is the place to be.